Joe here with the Rideshare Guy, and today we're going to go over my earnings for a couple of full days of driving for Uber and Lyft. So I personally have been back driving rideshare for just over 3 months now. I've been driving for both Uber and Lyft. When I first went back, I was driving exclusively Uber, but then I started to drive Lyft as well. Lyft started offering me good bonuses again. So that's kind of how I go from week to week. If Lyft or Uber are offering better bonuses, I'll drive for them. Sometimes in a given week, I'll drive for both. If they're offering streak bonuses or minimum ride or weekly ride challenge bonuses, I'll try to qualify for those bonuses. So there have been times throughout the fall here where I will drive exclusively for one platform or the other in a given week or a given day. And as far as when I drive Mondays and Tuesdays. Those are the only days I drive throughout the week. I'll typically put in full days. I'll put in 10, 11, 12-hour days. I drive in Minneapolis and St. Paul, so that's my market. My market may differ from other markets, but we'll take a look at the earnings that I'm making in my market. All right, so first off, we'll look at a day of driving for Lyft. So here's actually a look at my weekly summary for the week of November 2nd to November 8th. But I actually only drove one day that week, which was November 3rd, which is actually election day. And you can see that day I made $213.46. I gave 13 rides. My booked time, so the time that I was actually giving rides, was 4 hours and 59 minutes, and my online time was 9 hours and 51 minutes. So I was actually pretty picky that day with my rides. I wasn't accepting rides that were really far away. I was probably keeping my pickups to about 1.5 to 2 miles. So that's why there's such a discrepancy between the online time and the booked time. I was booked for about half the time that I was online. But you can see at the bottom I was offered some bonuses. So that's why I was able to be picky, because I was offered those bonuses. So that day, the main reason I was driving exclusively Lyft was that top driver bonus of $40. Lyft offered a bonus that day. If I gave 10 rides, I would get a $40 bonus. I also achieved two $12 streak bonuses that day, and you can see my actual ride earnings were $129.94. I received $17.52 in tips, and I had $2 in cancellation earnings. So if we calculate my hourly pay that day, if we take the $213.46 and divide that by the just about 10 hours of online time, I made about $21.71 per hour. Now this is before taxes, expenses, all that. All right, now let's take a look at a day of driving for Uber. So we'll take a look at Monday, November 16th. On Monday, I made $230.33. I was online for 9 hours and 40 minutes, and I gave 22 trips. My net fares for the day were $178.80, and my tips for the day, which was really high, they're typically not this high on a given day, was $51.53 for a total of $230.33. Now we'll calculate my hourly for that day. So if we take the $230.33 and divide that by about 9 hours and 40 minutes, we get $23.82 per hour. And again, this is before expenses and taxes. Now on Monday, I didn't qualify for any bonuses, but if we look at Tuesday, you can see under promotions there that I triggered a $30 bonus. So this week, the reason I was driving for Uber is they were offering a $30 bonus if I gave 40 trips. All right, so that's just a taste of what my earnings look like here in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Again, I drive Mondays and Tuesdays. I drive all day, and I have two main things to try and maximize my earnings. The one and main one are bonuses. So if one company or the other is offering you a bonus on a given week, you want to try and qualify for that bonus. And if they're both offering bonuses, and if you can qualify for both bonuses, obviously you want to try and qualify for both of them. Also be sure to look at streak and consecutive ride bonuses. If those are in there, sometimes they sneak those in there, you want to try and qualify for those as well. Another main thing, and this is kind of the day that I drove for Lyft, is I was really picky with rides. I was not accepting rides that were really far away. And it varies by location. So if you're way out in the suburbs, sometimes you might have to accept the ride that's further away, but that also can be a lucrative ride. It could be an airport ride, it can be a better ride. But if you're in a downtown area, it might not make sense to accept the ride that's more than 2 miles away. There will be times where I'll get requests from 2 miles away near a downtown area, but I know that typically I should get a request within a mile, within a half mile. You're saving time and money by not needing to eat that extra mile and a half of pickup distance. You're saving on wear and tear on your vehicle, and you're saving time. And that's how I personally maximize my earnings, by qualifying for those bonuses, but also knowing my city, knowing the areas where I might need to accept the request that's a little further away, but also knowing what the areas where I don't have to accept those requests. And overall for the fall, I'd say my earnings are averaging right around $20, $21 an hour. That's typically average for a given week. Again, I drive daytime, Mondays, Tuesdays. I drive in Minneapolis and St. Paul, so that's what it looks like in my particular situation. This could differ from market to market. Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, or subscribe, and drive safe. Thanks.